even worse than the first one. And we were standing there, and I said, I can't believe this. And sure enough, there it was, another plane. The plane wasn't no airline or anything. It was a twin-engine, big gray plane. About from here down, you know, maybe down to that yellow thing. Two motors, two big propellers. A few feet away from it. I never seen anything like it. I wouldn't believe that if I was so close. When you're on this building on the 56th floor, you feel like you could touch them buildings.
All of the three facts in this video, individually, prove that 9/11 was a state-planned and executed false flag attack. Everyone is welcome to try to disprove any of the evidence that is presented in this video. 1. The engine parts that were found on Murray Street did not belong to any of the 4 missing airliners on 9/11. The engine that you see in this video was found in line with the alleged Flight 175 impact, so it could have only belonged to the plane that struck the second tower. On United Airlines website, we can see what specific engine model they used on Flight 175, and it was a JT9D7R4D engine that United Airlines used on all their Boeing 767-222 models, while the engine that was found on Murray Street was a 747 engine, a JT9D7 series. This engine is exclusively used on Boeing 747 models. This is the cooling duct of Flight 175. This is the cooling duct of the engine that was found in line with the alleged 175 impact. Keep in mind that American Airlines Flight 11 was also a 767, so the engine that flew out from the towers did not belong to any of the missing airliners. What this proves is that the second plane that the government said was Flight 175 was in fact not Flight 175. They did not expect that the engine from any of the attack drones would leave the towers, since the demolitions would make the engines disappear. No evidence of the other engines were found.
You want to call your mother or something? You gotta get back. You gotta get back. You know that. You gotta get back. All right? Don't worry about me.
Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Sorry, you said there's a bomb? What'd you say? Bomb in the building, start clearing out. Got it.
A minute before the first demolition, pre-weakening thermite charges were set off to weaken the core. The lobby started to fill with thick white smoke. Agents did everything to prevent people filming it.
You gotta go out. Grab your guy and get him out.
Don't tell me this.
I don't care. I don't care. Get out.
What's your badge number?
Get out.
Give
Don't
me
worry
your
about
badge
it.
number.
Go turn around. 44. Get that guy. Who is that guy? Get that guy. There's an emergency going.
I understand.
He's Office of Emergency Management. Does he have a hat? Right? Tell your guy to go back where he's supposed to be at, or I'm going to throw him.
Right. You can see the firemen assembled here, the police officers, FBI agents. You can see the two towers, a huge explosion now waiting to play on all of us.
as we were getting our gear on and making our way to the stairway, there was a heavy-duty explosion.
The whole building just collapsed on us inside the lobby.
Was that a secondary explosion?
Yes, it was.
That was the
planet, probably.
Yeah, definitely a secondary explosion.
I heard a second explosion and another rumble.
An hour later than that, we had that big explosion from much, much lower.
It just went ba-boom, it was like a bomb went off. And another explosion came right from it, just everyone flying.
There were numerous secondary explosions taking place in that building. There were continuous explosions.
All of a sudden you just heard the loudest sound I've ever heard in my life. And got about 10 steps when I got blown across the lobby. And that's when I lost my tools, my Halligan and my axe.
We presume because of the initial explosion there may have been secondary explosions as well that were detonated in the building by these terrorists. Robert Harper.
Jimmy, don't get too close, Jimmy. They're still blowing up.
This has happened due to explosive material hitting this column and making that bulge.
Holy shit.
And the windows are blown away, everything is burned, even fireproofing on this floor is burned and glazed to the steel.
The third and best evidence that proves 9/11 was a false flag was that molten steel was found flowing and still burning red hot weeks after the demolitions. No classical demolition or office fire in any type of building has ever produced molten steel, let alone molten steel that remained red hot for weeks after the demolition.
Molten steel running down the channel rails, like you're in a foundry.
Yeah, like lava.
Like it was lava
from a volcano.
Certain people that the shadow government wanted alive were tipped off and told to not come to work or to come late a certain amount of time. Larry Silverstein was supposed to be at a meeting at the top of one of the towers early that morning, but he never showed up. His daughter was also supposed to show up at work early on 9/11 in Building 7, but she too never showed up. Silverstein then collected several $billion in insurance money. That's enough money to buy a lot of people's silence.
Larry Silverstein was told not to come into work. That's why him, his daughter, and his son never showed up to work on 9/11. He put an insurance policy on the buildings. Reporters, do your job, please. Ask some questions.
Did I see it? No, I was supposed to be on the 82nd floor for a 9 o'clock meeting, and I was about 10 minutes late to get there. And they're telling me now that planes were going through the 82nd floor area. So I guess I was kind of covered by somebody up above. There's no way. I mean, I'm late for the meeting. Somebody told me to be that way. There's no meeting. There's no meeting.